Hey everyone, and welcome to another video, and today we're taking a look at the ZGCine Real UHF microphone. Okay, so this is a one transmitter and one receiver microphone kit. It does say it's got a 70-meter operating distance and it has an operating time of 6 hours. This is a UHF type of transmission and it does have a omnidirectional microphone on the actual kit itself. So what we'll do is we'll dive in and we'll take a look at what we have. So for full disclosure, I didn't buy this particular microphone. It was sent out to me. Initially, they wanted me to test a few other ones as well, just with scheduling and everything. I've not really had time. Okay, so when you open the box, it looks like you actually have a carrying case included. So that is very nice. So yeah, nothing else in the box. And this is what we're presented with. So if we open this up, okay, so this is how it comes presented, and what we have is a few cables. So we'll rip these open to take a look at what we get. Okay, so it looks like we have a USB. That's very clever. So this is the first time I've seen any of these manufacturers, microphone manufacturers, actually think about this. You always get two microphones or two units, essentially, a microphone and a transmitter and receiver. Some kits come with two transmitters and one receiver, and they always give you separate cables for each one. Now this is something that I've not actually seen before, where they've actually given you a USB type A. So preferably I would have preferred that to have been USB-C as well, but on the other end you basically have two USB-C cables. So you only need to plug this into one unit and it will charge both, whereas with the other ones, essentially you have to either plug in one after the other, or you need to do what I do, where you have a multi-plug setup where you have multiple USB connections and then you can put multiple cables, whereas with this you just got one cable, and that's all you need. So that's very clever. That's the first time I've seen any manufacturer actually include something like that. So that straight away, thumbs up for thinking it through and actually designing a product in a way where it makes it easy for you. All right, we do get some other cables. So this, I believe, might be the microphone. Yep, so let's just take a look. So in terms of the clip, yeah, so it's just a sort of generic metal clip. I'll just get that into focus, and it is very stiff, so I'm not sure whether that's just, yeah, it has loosened up a bit now. It is metal, and if I just try and clip this on without rustling the microphone too much. Yeah, so what I like about this is no matter which way around you put it, there's no sharp edges that are going to be touching your skin. Unlike the Rode microphone that I've actually got, this is a £80 microphone and it has a horrible design flaw where the part that actually touches against your clothing or your skin, if you don't wear anything underneath, is very sharp. So I ended up having to file that down. This looks like it won't have that particular problem, and it's got a nice wide opening as well. So it makes it easier to actually clip this onto thicker clothes. In terms of the cable itself, it is relatively thick. So that's both a positive and a negative. Positive in the sense that it will hopefully stand up to a little bit more abuse, so it won't fail on you quite so easily. A negative because the thicker this cable, the more likely you are to get rustle from your clothing when you're out and about, or just through movement itself. So you're more likely to actually get some sort of interference. But yeah, I'll give this a quick test a little later on in the video. Right, and after that, what we also have is a few cables, and I'm guessing these are going to be your connection cables. So what I'm hoping is, yeah, so that is your TRS to TRS cable. Just take a look at that there. So, and it does actually say on there camera cable. Not sure if you'll be able to pick that up or not, that way around. And after that, we have what I'm hoping is the smartphone cable. Now these cables are quite thin, and I do like the fact that it's right angled. They've actually thought about the fact that most of the time when you're making these kind of connections, you don't want it coming straight out. That'll just make it more awkward for you. Yeah, so whenever you see the grey plug, usually that does mean that is for smartphone. And if we just take a look there, you will also see it does say 4 phone cable, sorry. So yeah, once again, right angles, you know that the grey is always the one that goes into the smartphone. So if you do buy any of these kits, be it ZGCine's or anybody else's, generally if you're looking for a TRS to TRS cable, the grey side is not usually the one that goes to the phone. After that, you do have a user guide, and it is quite thick. Hopefully we won't need that. Okay, that's a nice little touch. So we do also have a cold shoe adapter for 1/4 inch. So if you do have the situation where you've got any type of 1/4 inch mounting, then you can actually adapt that straight on. So that's a nice touch. Considering this isn't meant to be a sort of top of the line system, I believe they do actually have a pro line of microphones as well, ZGCine do. This, so far I'm impressed by their thinking into what you're going to actually be using this for and how it's going to be used. So let's get the microphone, well, the transmitter and the receiver out of the packaging. And we do have some sticky tape, so we'll just peel that off. Once again, shiny front panel. Not a fan of the shiny front panels personally. They just show fingerprints way more. But seeing as both units appear to have a digital display on them, I'm guessing that does make it easier for you to actually make use of that kind of thing. Having not read any of the instructions, well, it's going to be pretty easy because, right, let's just have a quick look through. So first we'll look at the receiver. So on the top of the receiver, you do have your connection that goes to your whatever device it is, that one there. And then you have a microphone port, so you can actually get real audio coming out, so you can keep an eye on your levels and make sure you're happy with everything. On the left hand side, you have your power button. Down at the bottom, you have a plus and minus, probably for gain, which if it is, then I'm very happy about that, because too many of these kind of systems, they make it very awkward for you and make it very difficult. You have to dive through menus and stuff in order to adjust your gain. So if that is your gain settings, then that's something I'm pleased about. Next to that is the settings button. And on the left hand side of the unit, you have your USB-C charging port. And on the back, what looks like a standard cold shoe size clip. We'll get the Rode microphone and we'll just compare them side by side. And yep, it does look, well, we'll be able to test from the actual cold shoe. Yeah, so it is a cold shoe size clip, which I really like it when manufacturers think about these things and they put that in there knowing that you can just clip this straight onto the top of your camera. Right, so what we'll do is we'll power that one up. Let's see if we have any juice. Yep, we do, and it's actually full battery. That's quite surprising. And what we'll do is we'll take a look at the transmitter next. So same thing on that. Okay, and that actually powers up very quickly. So if I just turn that off again, and if we just take a look at how quickly this actually powers on, that is actually very fast. Most of the time with most of the other units, you generally have to hold it for quite a few seconds before it'll actually turn on. Right, so we've taken a look at the receiver. What we'll take a look at now is the transmitter. So you do have your built-in microphone along the top, as well as a input for the whatever lab mic or any additional microphones you want to use. Because obviously you can, if you wanted to use this as a boom arm kind of setup, you can just use this as part of the transmitter and basically just plug in any microphone to it. On the left hand side, you do have your USB-C charging port. Along the bottom, you have your adjustments, and on the side you have your power button. Right, so the buttons along the bottom are actually mirrored on both. So let's see what happens when we actually press some of these. So yeah, we can see that is making adjustments to your decibel rating. So just in the bottom corner, if you might not be able to see it, is quite small. So each time I click it, so it does go, it goes in single increments, so up to 15 dB. And let's see, if you hold it, it does keep scrolling, and it goes down to 1 dB. And on the, okay, yeah. So what it looks like is on the receiver, The plus and minus on the bottom are actually for the headphone jack, I'm presuming, because it actually says V, so I'm presuming that is volume. And then you have from 1 similarly up to, I believe it will be 15. Yeah, so they've stayed consistent. Next to that, it actually gives you information on what channel it's using, as well as the frequency as well. So that's information that I've not really seen before, because if you do know that there is something in the area that is using a similar channel, then that obviously makes it a lot easier in terms of figuring out, yeah, I need to change something. Just quickly coming into, yeah, pressing settings. Yeah, so it looks like there isn't much settings that you need to actually do. So when you press settings, you're literally just changing channel. So if I go to channel 2 and hit accept, and then what I need to do is sync them both up manually. Yeah, so looking at it, it does look like you might need to actually sync up the channels manually. I'm not sure whether you can actually add any additional units to this. I don't know if you bought, whether you bought another unit, another whole set, whether it would actually work, because it's simply working off the same channel. But as it is, it's very simple, very basic. Everything looks fine for now. Right, what we'll do is, at the moment, obviously I'm using my Rode Wireless Go 2 kit. What I'll do now is I'll switch this over and we'll take a look at, we'll take a listen to how this actually sounds. Okay, so here we are back. We now have the ZGCine transmitter clipped on just there. And I have it set to roughly around 7, so about halfway. The camera is set on exactly the same settings as I was using with the Rode Wireless Go 2 kit. Obviously I do have adjustment on this, so if I wanted to I could actually make a few adjustments. Now the one thing that I don't actually see included in the pack is any wind muffs, and I'm guessing the reason for that will be they're wanting you to use the lav mic in any type of windy scenarios. Okay, so I've actually just noticed something that I missed on the first time, and that is essentially the mag clip that you get with your Rode setup. So essentially what we can do is you clip that onto the back of it, and I can now use this straight through my clothing. That separate clip, I believe the Rode one costs around £20 on its own. So considering that's actually included in this kit, I'm really impressed by what they're actually giving you. Pricing wise and everything, I will have links in the description below, so you can go and check that out. I believe the only place that they wanted me to actually get you to go to is directly to the website. I'm not 100% sure if they're selling on Amazon or not, but I think that might be a separate sort of part of the business anyway. So the links in the description below will be for the website directly. Whilst I'm not 100% sure on the pricing of this particular kit, I did see roughly all of their pricing, and considering what you're actually getting here, you've got TRRS cable, you have a better USB-C charging cable than any manufacturer out there has produced and given with any of their kits. It comes with the lav mic, which I'll actually test in a minute. So in terms of the kit, I'm really impressed by what they've actually given here. What I'll do now is I'll just hook up the lav mic and we'll take a listen to that as well. Okay, so we're back and we now have the lav mic plugged into the transmitter. So just going by the actual clip, so they have thought this through. It is on the top, so when you've got this clipped onto your trousers or just on your pocket or anything, or just in your pocket, the microphone is coming out the top and not out the side or the bottom or anything like that. Volume is still set exactly the same, so it's actually on 8 decibels and it goes up to 15. Looking on the display screen, it does look like it's a little lower than the Rode, but I did find that the Rode can sometimes be a little high. I do tend to find that I do occasionally need to actually turn that down a little, but let me know in the comment section below what you think of the sound with both the lav mic as well as the built-in microphone. So if I just switch now, okay, so this is now switched directly to the microphone, and what I'll do is I'll just clip it back on again. So that's with it clipped onto my collar. Normally what I would do is I'd probably end up using the lav mic, simply because I don't like the extra weight of having the microphones right there. But obviously you have that option. For indoors, I'm sure it's going to be fine. Okay, so the microphone itself doesn't look like it actually has any protection around it in terms of wind resistance or anything. But like I say, I'm guessing that the way that they've given this kit, the lav mic is what they want you to use in whenever you're outdoors, and obviously it does come with a little covering on it, so hopefully that should cut down on any wind noise. What we'll do is, I've got quite a few different kits now, and I do have quite a few tests that I need to do. So what I'll do is I'll do some tests against some of the competitors, and basically we'll take it from there. Anyway, that's it for this video. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think of it, and also if you haven't already done so, please do subscribe to the channel. Also hit the bell icon, that way you're notified whenever I upload a new video. There will be the test videos coming for this against some of its competitors. Also, I really appreciate if you give this video a thumbs up as well. It helps the channel and it helps the video to actually get out to more people, and more people can benefit from it. Links are all in the description below, and until next time, thank you very much for watching.